Talofa.
And welcome to Maoli Talk, Real Polynesians, Real Talk. Welcome to our hale.
Yes.
We are your hosts. I'm Delia.
Fosi.
And we're the Ulimas. And you are here watching our very first episode. Very excited to be here with my husband.
Yep.
Just want you to get to know us a little bit. And we want to talk about why we started this show. Why are we putting ourselves out there on YouTube? Really, we want to be able to talk about things that are important to us as Polynesians, as parents, as married couples, right?
And
as mothers and daughters and sons. And
it's all about building. We want to build a community where we can share our stories so that we can help one another out. There's not enough of us out there that are sharing our stories so that we can build that community.
Yeah, we definitely want to see more of us out there because we have a lot of stories to share. But as we said, you're going to have to learn a little bit more about us. And we're going to do that by bringing in our Talk Story Bowl. And we have some questions. We're going to ask one another questions, and we have to answer the questions ourselves, right?
Is that a cold bowl?
This is, I want to call it a cold bowl, but it's not a cold bowl. It's actually a monkey pod bowl.
Okay.
So here's our Talk Story Bowl.
Okay.
Han, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So the first question of the day is, what do you admire most about me?
What do I admire most about you? That is pretty easy. What I admire most about you is your unwavering, unequivocal love for your family and how you serve your family, and how everything you do is about serving your family, and how you are literally more excited to do something for us, you know, me, your wife, or your children, or your mom, or your siblings, than you are for yourself. And that is something that is just always a part of who you are and were, and why I was attracted to you in the first place. Well, that and kind of had a nice butt growing up. Anyway.
Yeah.
And the same question goes back to you. Again, why are we asking these questions? It's because we thought this might be a fun way to get to know us. We're going to ask each other questions, but
just a little bit about us.
What do you admire about your spouse?
I think
Your spouse of almost 27 years, but
really, what I really admire about my wife is she's really a spiritual giant. She really keeps our family on that path to focus on what's really important, what's the most important thing in our family, and that's just one of the things. The other thing is that she's really super smart. I couldn't marry anybody that wasn't smarter than me. She's super smart, and she's independent. She's
that's more than one thing.
Well, I want to share a couple more things. And she has great integrity, and that, she loves me is why she agreed to do this with me.
Definitely get points.
Okay.
Extra kisses and hugs tonight.
All right.
Okay, question number 2.
Yes.
Always look eye. Okay, what is something our children have taught you? Oh, good question.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
How long is the show?
Man.
What's something
I don't know, man.
our children have taught you?
That big guy, he never teach me nothing. Nah, just kidding, son. So our son is our camera guy. He's
Yes,
behind
he
the
is.
scenes.
He's behind the
guy
scenes.
One thing that, or something that, like, I'll start with the older boy. You know, when he first came to us,
we're going to have a lot of crying. See, I have a feeling we're going to do a lot of crying on the show. And so, son, can you find us some Kleenex? Just warning, we cry a lot. We're going to cry a lot on this show.
My son has taught me a lot of things. My older boy taught me how to be a good father. He taught me how to love. Taught me how to teach. He taught me how to have patience. And my younger boy too. He taught me a lot. You know, he been through a lot, so I learned a lot of patience from him, and how to just love them and teach them and bring them up in a way that God would have them come up, and I'm grateful to have them, and that they're such a blessing in my life. Both of my boys, Makana and Fosi.
I echo what my husband says, of course. When you become a parent, you don't have a book, you don't know what you're doing. And I always say that my children are my greatest teachers, especially my oldest, because we've had him the longest, and he's a teenager now, and it definitely has taught me not just patience and unconditional love, but certainly our children are a reflection of who we are and of our greatest challenges and our greatest potentials. And so you see in them reflected yourself, and it's frightening sometimes, and it's glorious sometimes, and it's always humbling, and it's a distinct privilege to be a parent. So that's our really super emotional answer here. Question number 3. We don't have all day to do.
Okay, what does our 2019 family theme, a happy and healthy family, mean to you? A happy and healthy family.
See, these are some of the things we're going to be talking about. So we actually do family themes every year.
Yeah, we try.
We try. We have a theme. We don't necessarily live the theme, but
finish it to the end. But hey, we're trying. Yeah. So this is all a learning experience for all of us. So we are going to learn and grow together.
What does that mean to you, hon?
I asked you the question, hon.
Oh, did you ask me
Yeah, I just asked you the question.
Okay, I knew that. Let's be honest. I am not the healthiest person. I am overweight. I am in my mid-40s, and I have a family history of diabetes and heart disease. And we as a family need to eat better, to move more, to be more conscious of our health. And so a happy and healthy family really is about having a family that is physically healthy, spiritually healthy, mentally and emotionally healthy, and that we can be happy that we're doing those things to take care of ourselves and one another. That's really what and financially healthy. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. So, at the end of the day.
Yes, absolutely. Everything you said, and I mean, I echo everything you say. But, being happy is really what this whole thing is about, I really want more of us to be happy, more of our family, more of everybody to be happy. And we should be doing things that will make us happy. Because when we're doing things that makes us happy, naturally we'll be healthy. Will lead to us being healthy. So it's important that we do things that make us happy.
Well, and it's hard to be happy when you are financially stressed all the time, when you're not physically healthy and you're worrying about ailments and illnesses. And so they're all connected because we're whole people. We're holistic people. And our ancestors knew that. So we're going to talk about that too in this show. Okay, question. Is it my turn to ask you a question? Turn. Okay, number 4. What makes you most proud about being Samoan?
Man, that's a great question. I would have to say respecting my elders. Really respecting my elders is a big deal that was ingrained in me as a youngster. Coming up, here in Hawaii, my dad always, one thing I remember, whenever he asked us to go over to somebody's house to ask for something, he taught us you always sit down and then you present your question while you're there. You never stand at the door, and you always sit down and you be respectful. The respect thing is such a big thing in the Samoan culture to me, and I think that's something that's so important that we still need to instill in our children today.
Oh, absolutely. And that is definitely an important value, I think, amongst all of the Polynesian cultures, but I have to say very much so with the Samoan culture. And if you haven't guessed by now, right, we're 2 different ethnicities or cultures, but we're Polynesian. But so the question back at me is,
what makes you the most proud about being Hawaiian?
There's also many things, but when I think about it, as I get older, especially at this stage of our lives, when we're thinking about leaving a legacy, it's really about the fact that as Hawaiians, our ancestors always had a concept of kuleana, or responsibility, right? And so you weren't just living for yourself and for the day. You were living for 7 generations after. For you would malama the aina, you malama yourself, you take care of the family, because you had a kuleana or responsibility to the land, to those that were going to come after you. And so the older we get, I know that that's really a big part of like what we talk about. What are what legacy are we leaving our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, and to our community and our culture. And the older I get, the more I think about what my kuleana is, and that's what I'm really proud about. I guess there's one thing left, and it's a bonus question. You want to read this question?
You go ahead.
Can you sing my high school alma mater? Can you?
I don't know. Come
on, try. Chance him. Because it's the best alma mater.
Ole. Ole.
Come on, try. Chance him.
The only thing I know is re ra ra. And the other thing that stands out is something about seeing ring kalihi or something like that.
That is so Horace.
And then the other part I remember was Imua Kamehameha.
That is not part of the alma mater. That's the fight song.
My bad. I thought that was part of the alma mater.
Be strong and alive. Is that? Oh, that's my. Okay, we're gonna sing it later. But see, how come I know your alma mater?
That's because it's popular, you know.
Amongst who? Okay.
Everybody.
So my husband graduated from Farrington High School Governors.
Whoop, whoop.
And I graduated from the best school in Hawaii, which is Kamehameha Schools, Go Warriors, Imua, Kamehameha. And so let me attempt to sing yours. To you, our own dear alma mater, we pledge our love and loyalty. Dun, 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 dun. And your school is named after a colonizer, right? Is that how it goes?
No.
In praise of Farrington. Nothing. Okay. All right. So now that you've learned a little bit about us, we are your hosts. We hope you join us every week because we want to talk about things. And more importantly, we want to know what you want to talk about. What's important to you. Subscribe to us below.
Touches you.
Put your comments
you.
down below and hit us up on social media.
Give us some feedback.
Until next time, aloha from Maoli Talk.
Sofua from Maoli Talk.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Did you say talofa? Okay.
Again.
In 5.
I'll just do it again.
And then you say, what do you have to contribute?
Yes. Absolutely. Everything she said. I'm not just kidding.
Hey!
This show is so important to us and to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's the layout, okay? I'm going to welcome people to Maoli Talk, Real Polynesians, Real Talk. Touching under the table.
Yeah. Hi.
Tip of the tongue. I
got a tip for you.
You made things very...
Oh, chicka pow pow. I like Punch's face. You should film that. I like Punch's face. It's not bad. I don't know. Like the hair?
Yeah, I love it. It's
I love it. It's Nani. It's Ui.
Hair.
Nani Ko hair. Can I get another co-host, please?